this love that you never started. You once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what we have and take us to the edge and back. Holding on to what we have and take us to the edge and back. Yeah.
Welcome back, guys, to Game 2 of today. Name pending versus First Crusade of VCU. I'm joined by our B-Team head coach, Vineet Bluchez Polam. Say hi to the stream.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
We got Torrain versus Slybrad in the top lane. It's not actually Big Ichi, but sources say Vice is playing jungle versus Pooh. So it'd be Big Ichi versus Red Lightning in the mid lane. Bode Kink Joe 50 versus Daniel Nadalkov in the bot lane. And Roland Chang versus Albitalia as support. First predictions. What do you think, Vineet?
I think the obvious prediction is Daniel's team. They have a pretty overall balanced team compared to most teams, and Daniel's kind of crazy at AD carry, so I would expect their team to win, but I would not be surprised if Big Ichi wins, because sometimes there's some games where Big Ichi just goes crazy, and there's some games where he seems useless. Could be either one.
For sure. I mean, we saw like Big Ichi coming back from his mountain retreat on Wooloo Gang last semester versus Big Ichi in playoffs. It was like night and day, so we'll have to see how well Big Ichi is able to punish Red Lightning's rather passive playstyle in the mid lane. I'm actually really excited to see Shane play jungle. I think this is his first time jungling in VCU LCS.
Yeah,
So we'll see what he brings in from his B team jungling days.
seems like he's looking to win this year.
He is looking to win VCU LCS this year, and I think he has the team to back it up. Now, Slybrad, notorious for flashing forward on ADC, has now been relegated to Malphite duty. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't want to reveal too much from any scrims, but there's been a lot of going forward for Slybrad, even in the top lane. So I would not be surprised if he, let's say, inted a couple of times. But I do think he's not a bad top laner. He had relatively good wave control, relative to his experience in the top lane, and he didn't look terrible. So I would say that's the weakest side on Crusaders. Is that what they're called? Yeah, Crusaders.
The Crusaders, indeed.
But I wouldn't say that he will be the sole reason for their loss if they do lose.
Fair enough. A lot of I shouldn't say a lot, but like very little confidence in Slybrad in the top lane. Maybe he can prove us wrong with some Smurf gameplay coming in. Then let's just talk about the bot lane really quickly. Daniel versus Albitalia. What are your thoughts about these two? I think they're by far the strongest bot lane in the league.
I think they're the least threatening bot lane. I think there's or least threatening out of the top class bot lanes. I think Daniel really takes off in team fights. I wouldn't say his strongest suit is his laning phase, but definitely he's probably a better laner than everyone else in the league right now. I think Albitalia is a little too passive in lane, but like if your only goal is to keep your AD carry alive and you don't want to risk anything, it makes sense. Wouldn't blame anyone for doing that.
For sure. Looks like this bot lane's looking to get past the laning phase and start gapping people in team fights with superior positioning and peel. Just quick look compared to the other bot lanes in the tournament. I think the closest in terms of skill level would be Air Kendall and Slender Mode when we compare in terms of strength, but they kind of got gapped by the very sultry Kings a few
Yeah,
days ago.
and uh, again, not gonna leak too much stuff, but they did get gapped by the Whooper Syndicate ball in scrims as well. So uh, I wouldn't put. I would say there's 4 top tier ball lanes, and it could go either way on any day. So
Gotcha. You heard it here first from Vineet himself, and we got to stop talking about the teams because we are going into draft. As Name Pending decides to immediately ban away Samira from Daniel.
understandable.
It is very understandable, but insider sources say Daniel is trying to be an elo terrorist and only play Sivir.
I would I would not want to be on that man's team if he's playing Sivir.
See if this is an Echo ban coming out. I think that's directed right towards Big Ichi. Big
Yeah.
Ichi plays like all the Brandon champions. Like you see Yone,
Yeah.
you see a bit of Echo, you know. Every now and then, I know Brandon doesn't play Zed, but you know, every now and then you'll see Zed. He
Yeah,
plays a
I
lot of
took Manchester
assassins.
recently, and I think his highest play is Silas or something like that.
Yeah, it's
I
another
was
Brandon
kinda shocked.
champion.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he was more of a laid back kind of laner, but with the champions he's playing recently, it seems like he's gotten on the more aggressive foot.
For sure, and immediately Samira, Anivia, Udyr banned. No Samira for Daniel, no Anivia for Red Lightning, and no Udyr for Shane. Anivia, one of Red Lightning's best champions. Udyr, one of Shane's absolute best champions. And immediately the VCU Hecarim is locked in for Vice Lay. I want
I'm
to talk
a
about
little
the...
shocked by this. I thought they would first pick Udyr on blue side. It's a little weird to get a Udyr ban on the blue side, but Hecarim is good nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Udyr is a champion that's not hard to play at all. I did snoop a bit into Vice's match history, and I saw he played a bit of Udyr. But immediately, Caitlyn Morgana locked in for the first Crusaders of VCU, looking to establish immediate lane dominance, and the answer to that will be the Senna and the Nami. What are your thoughts on this bot lane 2v2?
I think this is, of course, heavily favored to the Caitlyn Morgana. I think Senna, if she was paired with a tankier or like an engaged champion, could have done better into this. But with the Nami, they're picking a lane dominant champ, but on the back foot. So the Nami is a little bit iffy. But if it's a champion he plays a lot, I could see why he'd pick it.
For sure, Roland Chang put in quite a few games of Nami, quite a few games of Alistar. I think he's gone for the Nami option this time. Not wanting to play Alistar into Morgana as Malphite is banned away from Terrain in the top lane. And we are seeing our first Viego ban of the season. Not many Viego players actually in VCU.
Yeah, I have not seen a Viego player yet.
Is that a Scion ban or am I tripping?
It did hover Scion for a second.
So it is a Scion ban. It is a Scion ban. Confirmed. Have to see what First Crusaders want to ban last, and they are going to take away Red Lightning's Diana. Not Red Lightning, sorry, Big Ichi's Diana. Big Ichi, one of his most played champions, is in fact Diana, and I don't know how Red Lightning feels with playing against that. So, because insider info says he inted pretty hard into a Diana the other day. So, yeah, there we go. So Sly Brad locking in the Ornn for himself. The Ornn Horn coming in. That's a lot of late game power, a lot of team fight utility. With the upgrades coming in on the mythic items, as well as the Ornn Ultimate, the Call of the Forge God. Huge ultimate for disrupting grouped members in chokeholds or around dragon pits. So it's drafting a decently strong team fighting comp here, the Crusaders.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird on how they want to play out fights, but I think if they can get them in a choke point, the fight is kind of unlosable with those champions on the right side. But on the left side, they get a strong 2v2 mid lane. They have it's weird. I don't like seeing Hecarim picked with so much disengage, but maybe they're gonna fix or round out the comp with something in the last pick.
Maybe.
Uh,
They pick the Kled. I don't like Kled. Not this season.
Same. I think Kled could be used as a counter to a certain champ, maybe. Like, I don't think it's terrible into Camille, but into Ornn it seems a little weird. I don't see a particular reason for this. Maybe they wanted to fill the engage hole we were talking about. But I think there's better options than Kled.
I mean, possibly.
Ooh.
It's just why am I getting invites, man? Like what, bruh? But like, oh, they picked a Nunu to counteract the Hecarim. So, what are your thoughts on Nunu versus Hecarim in the jungle?
I think it's still Hecarim favored. I think any engagement between both of them isn't gonna mean much, but Hecarim has a faster, clear post first back. I believe so. Pretty sure. So I think it's pretty even in terms of champion versus champion, but I think overall effect in the game, Hecarim's definitely stronger. I think Hecarim is working with the less than ideal comp though, so that might be a little bit hard. But they do have a really strong 2v2, and if they can snowball off of that 2v2, they could have a win con mid game.
All right, so insider info looks like these guys decided to do regular draft instead of tourney draft. So we're going to be wasting a little bit more time, and y'all can hear us talk more about how boosted these players are.
I'm actually okay. So I can't quite put my finger on this, but there's on name pending's team, there's a lot of like good rank spread, I guess would be the word, but the team just isn't. It's you don't get scared of a team with their names on it, which is a little weird, I guess, but they're not intimidating. Like they have no player that makes you think, oh, he can just solo carry the game no matter what.
Sorry, on
like,
whose team? I was paying attention to the
on name pending's team.
Yeah, I
like
don't. I agree with you. I don't see like a true hard carry from any of these guys because. Okay, so I don't expect Terrain to carry with a Kled versus an Ornn because I think Kled is kind of shit right now. Vice is on Hecarim duty, and we know VCU Hecarim is notorious, but he's not a jungler at heart, so we'll have to see how well that works out for him. Senna, I don't know what Bode Kinkajo is going to do on Senna with a Nami support, Roland Chang. Big Ichi could potentially carry on Syndra, but I have never seen him play Syndra in my life, ever.
Yeah, I think this is going to be mostly on Vice to carry. Maybe not in terms of damage, but at least in terms of how he's engaging fights and where he's fighting. Because that seems like the only hope.
So Jacob just messaged me and said, if you draft like Blue Side drafted, I will int.
I would not blame him.
I wouldn't blame him. Blue Side's draft is pretty... Let's be nice and say mediocre.
Yeah, I think they just probably were going for picks that they were comfortable on rather than making a thought out comp. Sometimes that could work out. Just I guess like just outplaying your opponents, but I wouldn't bet on like for example Nami Senna to outplay Daniel's Kaelin and Albatalius Morgana. I don't think that is very likely.
It's definitely not going to happen. Daniel has so much experience on Caitlyn. He actually chose it as his champion on the VCU Black poster, which should be releasing fairly soon. Be excited for that. It will be up for sale for many different sizes. We are selling out, so you better buy our stuff so we can get money. Also, Caitlyn Morgana is just a really strong lane, regardless of what meta you're in. So
yeah,
I like it. Victor, Red Lightning, I don't expect him to trade back with Big Ichi. But if he does, I will be surprised. He's told me he likes to play pretty passively into Syndra, so...
Yeah, so we actually played into his Victor as well, and it wasn't a great showing. I think his problem was just he played. Yeah, basically he played too passively, like you said. There wasn't much action going on, and that allowed the other mid laner to just move around the map for free. They would definitely want to stop that if they have a Nunu on their side, because Nunu wants to be as high tempo as possible. And if your mid laner's not keeping up with you, that's gonna be a problem.
For sure, Nunu is an extremely high tempo jungler. So is Terrain playing jungle and is Vice playing top? I'm so confused now, man.
Oh, I guess, yeah. They didn't swap by 20 seconds, so it has to be that.
We'll know shortly enough. They could be trolling us, but I
I
mean,
mean, they can't swap back. You're literally not allowed to swap back after 20 seconds in tournament draft.
really, okay.
So
Well,
I
looks
guess
like
it's.
looks
I'm
like
a little less
Terrain.
confident about the team now.
Looks like Terrain's going jungle and Vice is playing Kled top into the Ornn. I doesn't change my opinion. I think this is a huge draft if from
Yeah,
red side.
for sure.
Daniel deciding not to be a Elo terrorist and play Sivir. He's playing Caitlyn instead. So it's a little bit of a relief for his team.
Yeah. I think pretty much the only hole in this comp is the 2v2 mid, but uh,
And
if
the thing is,
Ballin
a
gets
2v2 mid, I agree it's champ diff, but I think it's also like mid lane. It's mid lane aggression diff, right?
yeah.
Because like you come in for a 2v2, Tristan just wants to like back off and get back to farming, right? Big E's like, let's kill them, and
Mhm.
Shane's just sitting there like, all right, I just came here for no reason.
Shane's always looking to make a play, so I don't know how
Right.
he'll keep up with the mid laner.
I
It'll be
think
fun to watch.
I think what his plan of action should be is so Senna Nami is extremely immobile. If they get caught by a Caitlyn trap, Morgana bind, that is one of the freest kills that they can possibly get. I think Shane's best bet is to play towards bot side this entire game and do nothing else.
So I think that depends a little bit on mechanics. So technically, yes. If they do get caught, they're 100% dead. Like if they get hit by a trap or a bind, you can't get out as Nami Senna. But they're also a pretty good 2v2 to get out of ganks. Senna, by the champion's design, is very good weak side, and with the addition of Nami, who's probably playing this lane to hold bubbles for just for ganks for enemies ganks, disengage is super strong in that ball lane. So I wouldn't if the ganks do work out, I would be surprised that they do work. I wouldn't be surprised since I think the red team is just better. But normally, I don't think those ganks should work out too well. I think 2v2, this lane will get beat down anyway. So I think you should move your focus to making sure your mid laner gets prio and any ganks.
Knowing Red Lightning, I don't know if he will have prio. That will make it a little easy for Shane to come in and maybe get a gank down mid lane, but I think just speaking from experience playing jungle for Red Lightning a lot, I never tried a 2v2 with him. I always like try to look to gank his lane once and then just leave him be for the rest of the game. I think that's probably the thing that Shane should go for. Let gank mid once, never gank him again, and then start ganking bot over and over again. So that's literally my strategy every time I jungle for Red Lightning. So we'll see what Shane's able to do as we exit our spectator delay. Shortly head into the game. We can get this cast started.
Who do you think can turn the game around for blue team if there is one person?
It would be Big Ichi on the Syndra, and it really depends on how well he's able to position and how many people he can stun if he's able to one-shot Daniel consistently in fights. I think it depends on how Big Ichi plays. Maybe if Vice finds a really good flank angle on Kled onto the back line of the Crusaders, then that'll be a win for them. But I think just looking at draft here, it seems very apparent that the Crusaders are most likely going to be the victorious ones here.
Yeah, like you said, I think they're only for in a team fight. I think they're blue team's mostly looking for picks, but if they do come into a team fight, Flanks are probably going to determine if they win or lose this game.
For sure.
Because I would say red team has a lot of engage, but not a lot of backline help. So there is a chance they could lose a team fight from a flank, but it would have to be really well set up by name pending.
I don't know. I just see this comp and I don't. I just see name pending's comp and I don't see like any clear strengths.
They don't have a
Yeah, I see no clear strength. Okay, they have a solid laner in Syndra. They have a strong jungler that's probably gonna be their ticket to the back line. But then Kled is also a super weak champion, and then Sen and Nami don't have synergy in the bot lane. So let's see what happens here. I think they're gonna go for the invade. We might see an early 5v5 scuffle happening, as Albitalia will be the first one. She is gonna walk past a ward. They do spot her out. Let's see if they keep walking. This might get a little dicey here. Immediate two-man bubble onto Red Lightning, followed up by the center route. Slybrad knocks them all up. No deaths yet. Shane might go down, is forced to flash out of there. Albitalia running for her life, split off from the rest of the team. Dodges the skill shots. And it's just a flash. Flash from Shane and a heal from Daniel traded for the Ignite from Roland Chang. That's a win for Blue Side.
Yeah, really well planned by Blue Side. It seems like they knew that was gonna happen. If it's against Shane, you always expect a cheat strategy, but they kind of knew which strategy they were going for, so maybe they tried it out in scrims before. But really good start for Blue Team.
Indeed, a good start from Blue Team. The flash gone from Shane will be probably a make or break in one of his early ganks. We might see the effects of that happening fairly soon as both junglers decide to start on the red buff, pathing towards their blue. Pretty standard so far. Yeah. Please move away from mid lane. I do not want to see this. This will be really boring. As both laners are just deciding to farm. The Big Ichi does get early priority. Daniel throwing out the Peacemakers. Roland Chang lands a bubble.
Yeah, it seems... Oh, not a great
Yeah, the
start.
bind lands. That's like a lot of damage going to be traded onto Bode Kinkajo. Misses the Peacemaker, actually, so doesn't get that last bit of chunk down.
It seems like both junglers know which side they're playing for, as they're both pathing to their strong sides. But I'm not a fan of Hecarim full clearing here. I think it just slows him down too much.
Yeah, I would have preferred... Oh, that's quite a bit of fight happening. Level 2 lead coming in for the bot lane of the Crusaders. But yeah, going back to the Hecarim... Oh, never mind. Vice is fighting.
Another fight.
Lots of fights. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of the full clear from Hecarim. He's just... The tempo from Shane opting for the 3 camp to get himself on the map is so much more effective right now. As he could look for many options. Might be able to get a gank onto Big Ichi. Could look to get Deep Vision bot for his bot lane. Might be able to blow some sums in the bot lane. Nunu doesn't need a lot of farm to be useful. And yeah, immediately on the map, going for a gank onto Big Ichi. Red Lightning puts down the gravity field as a bit of damage is traded back onto Shane. But that's a flash away from the Syndra and a win for the Crusaders.
Yep. Really well played gank. Good timing.
A lot of damage onto Roland Shane. He's taken down. First blood goes over to Albitalia. This is what we mentioned.
Did he walk onto the trap or did he get hit by a binding?
He got hit by a bind, immediate follow-up with a trap, and this is what we mentioned. They get hit by one bind, they're dead.
Yeah. Albitalia is really smurfing this lane.
For sure. But yeah, Shane's already been on the map, and we've yet to see Terrain do much. He's getting the scuttle now. Might look towards a gank onto Red Lightning, who is pushed up real far, and I don't think he realizes that there is an angry Hecarim behind him. See what Terrain opts to do.
Towards bot side, which is a good idea, at least in case he wasn't sure where the Hecarim is, but good ward as well.
Is he maybe going to look for a dive on a slide? Brad Vice does have the knockback. Okay, yeah, Terrain picks up the kill onto that one.
Well played.
Yeah, 1-0 on the Hecarim. I like how Vice queued in front of him to get the remount so they can play for that dive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really well played overall. Stun lands onto Red Lightning. Big Ichi trades a bit of damage back. Or, I shouldn't say trade, but gets a bit of damage onto Red Lightning. Another Q lands. Red Lightning probably going to look to recall here. Pick up some items. Small CS lead growing for him.
Yeah, he's playing the lane out pretty well for him. Getting early... the idea of Syndra, at least in competitive play, is to get quick cheater recalls and always have an item advantage, but Red
Is
lining.
this a solo
Oh.
kill for Sly
Oh
Brad?
my god!
Okay.
Whoa, you just went a little bit crazy there.
Unexpected from Sly Brad. Wants to prove the naysayers wrong. Wants to prove he's not bad at this game. Gets a
Vice had
solo kill
flash up
onto
too.
Vice.
Wow.
My only guess is, okay, so Vice stayed too long in that lane, disrespecting Ornn damage with Grasp. Red Lightning taking a bit of damage. Misses the W.
Big Ichi just trolling it.
Yeah, Big Ichi's kind of trolling right now. He missed every skill shot. But you know, once
That
he
was a
hits
good
6, it
back
won't
timer
matter.
for him. Big Ichi's stalling his back too long. One person get hit, so both people get hit, huh?
Yeah.
That's the rule of Ballin.
Just a bit of trading back and forth happening in the top lane. Now they might have dove Sly Brad, but he came back with a vengeance and punished Vice for staying in lane for too long. So
What is Tornay doing? Or is it Terrain?
Terrain, yeah.
Terrain.
He
What
flamed
is
me
he
for
doing?
mispronouncing it. They see him on that ward. I mean, he's wasting a lot of
Yeah.
time here. And Shane realizes that. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a gank bot as soon as Hecarim leaves to clear his camps.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know
he's picking
why
it.
their ball lane is walking up right now. The Sananami ball lane.
Yeah, here comes Nunu. Okay, this
Yeah,
is going to be a
double
double knockup coming in from Shane.
What?
Excellent, but she misses the root on targets that were...
Yeah, that was just
Okay, that was
really-
in. That was so in from Albitalia. I think...
Yeah, that
oh
was-
my god,
Oh.
what... Okay,
Just as
Mary
we
is
said-
kind of trolling right now.
Just as we said, she was smurfing.
The
lane
TP is
phase.
coming in from Red Lightning, though. Let's see what's happened. That's not a good TP at all, though.
Yeah.
And an int Kled ult. What is happening in
Oh
this
my
game,
God.
man? All
Sly
these
Brad is just.
these players, man. What am I watching? Okay, so
Honestly, a Red's TP isn't the worst. One, he dissuades a dive, and two, he gets a good timer for mid, which I wouldn't say is the end of the world. That TP, I think it wasn't bad, but top lane was that ult was just really questionable for no reason.
I think he just. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and like maybe he like dropped his Doritos on the R button or something.
Fellow MLG gamer, huh?
Yeah, dude, MLG gamer out here. Vice lay. He's going aggressive onto Slybrand once again, but he does not win these trades. Immediately dismounts once again.
I gotta give credit to Slybrand. He's playing these trades really
Ah,
well.
Big Ichi's stunned up.
Oh.
Albitalia, will you actually land a binding this time?
Oh, and
Okay, never mind. Red Lightning picks up the kill. Well played. Shane is just getting absolutely demolished right now. This
did not know
2v2
what
top
happened in the
lane.
top
Double
lane.
kill coming in. VCU Hecarim 3-0 already on the scoreboard.
I guess every jungler in VCU just knows how to play Hecarim well.
I think it's that also a I don't think it's that. I think it's just Hecarim being
Yeah, he's
stupid
an
broken
OP
right
champ.
now. This is so broken.
I gotta give them the benefit of the doubt.
I still feel like it would have gone really well for Shane and he wouldn't be in this situation if Mary just landed her Q on like either one of the non-moving targets after the excellent two-man knockup with the snowball, but no, it just
I
didn't
agree.
happen.
I thought blue team was trolling by not flashing, but apparently they had it all thought out.
Dude,
They would just mind control the Morgana into missing all bindings.
can we keep if Lord Wisher is in the chat, Mr. Lord Wisher, could you keep a track of how many binds Mary has missed this game?
Let's not do her dirty like that. Okay?
Nah, dude, I have to flame people. I love flaming people. You don't know how much I wanted to flame Dog last game, but I decided not to because I'm not one of the casters that game.
Ballin is a good 20 CS lead, so they're basically like a kill and an assist up in terms of gold. So,
This should be an easy bind angle onto Bode Kinkajo
Oh.
50. Should be taken down immediately. However, the Senna ult lands, the heal comes through. Takes a bit of a while to die, but however, Roland Cheng is caught in the brunt of the Nunu ult. Daniel will go down to terrain, coming in like an angry horse.
that was a really smart setup by Red Team for to bait out Ballin to basically int it, but Daniel had a really questionable ult there, he should have known Hecarim was on the side of the dragon, and that he can't just stand still.
Okay, Shane
good
smites away the dragon. Pretty well done. Shutdown goes over to Red Lightning from the Hecarim. Well played there. Big Ichi. Vice. Another questionable ult for Vice. Dude, this man just keeps dropping Doritos on his R-key. What can I say?
Hey, one, I don't know why I ulted there, and two, I don't know why the Hecarim just Hail Married into there. He had a shutdown on him, so he's the most valuable member on his team, and it was just first Drake. Like, it's not the end of the world if they don't get it, especially since they have a Senna on their team who scaled decently well.
Right, it really isn't the end of the world. First Drakes are pretty underwhelming in terms of the stats they give, especially early game, and you don't really need them. Pro tip to all junglers out there, you don't need to prioritize early Drakes. Play for either second or third Drake and look to get early Rift Heralds instead, because that will help you snowball your lead better.
Hell yeah. First Herald is so important, but no one seems to like it.
No one cares, man. Dude, that dragon is too juicy. They're like, oh shit, man. 2%, 2.5% more healing from Ocean Drag? I need that. 3% more damage from Infernal Drag? Oh, hell yeah, man. Like,
I think
it's
if
not that
there's any
important.
Drake that's worth solo, only solo, it would be Cloud Drake in my opinion.
Early game, definitely Cloud Drake, so you can have more plays made with your ultimates. Yeah. Bode Kinkajo going to take a lot of pain. This is a Nami ult. Daniel effectively uses the net to dash away from Nami ult.
Good job baiting out the ult there. What's going on the top side? Are they looking for a dive on the top side again? Oh, it does look like a dive on the top side again.
Yeah, it looks like Big Ichi and Torrain are coming up to kill this Ornn off. He's gonna do his best to try and disengage from his one. He is decently tanky. The Ornn Horn comes through. He's living for quite a while, but never mind. Big Ichi picks him up with the Unleashed Power, taking a lot of pain from the tower shots. Will he die? No, he won't.
I really like that name pending is making
Terrain?
active.
Terrain?
What? What?
Okay, he lives. I was just like, wait, what, man?
I'm a huge fan of name pending making an active effort to dives. I think dives are super underrated, and like people are just generally too scared to do it, but they give a lot of
the
value
bind lands
out of them.
onto Daniel. This might be gone. This might be a dead Caitlyn here. Big Ichi comes in. A good bind lands onto Vice. There is no Kled ult for a bit, though. Red Lightning is coming for some support. Big Ichi kills off Daniel with a stray Q. Immediately turns aggressive onto Red Lightning. He has a 2-level deficit, though.
Yeah, Nami just walked into the binding for no reason.
Yeah, I mean...
That's very interesting.
It's just Roland Chang doing Roland Chang things. Don't worry about it. Every now and then, he needs to flex how fat his wang is, so... it's alright.
I think also... Going back to the earlier dive, I think Slimerat actually read the dive, but was just too late on it. Another fight? What is going on? Okay, they just left.
Wait, what time are you at? You might be a little bit behind me.
Oh, I was at 12:50. I thought the Nunu and Hecarim were fighting at Raptors, but
okay.
They're just back there. Oh, finally a good ult by Vice.
Where?
He just
wait, he just ulted for no reason.
Yeah.
Wait, what time are you at? I might be behind. What the heck?
Oh, 13:13.
Okay, never mind. We're fine.
Oh, yeah. I might just be looking at a different side.
Yeah, maybe. Fight breaking out immediately, actually. Pooh is taking extremely low. Albatelli forces Zonya's Slibrad. Immediately gets popped by Big Ichi. Bode Kinkajo 50. Step up quite a lot.
Was that Shane that engaged the fight?
I think it was an attempted counter engage from the Crusaders. However, pretty sure Hecarim and Syndra started that. I guess if Hecarim decides to start all the fights, Vice never has to use his ulti. I mean, he's kind of just using it on cooldown. I'd rather he just not use it all. I mean, if he could just unbind the keys, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, I initially thought they picked the Kled to like with the Hecarim to like buff up his damage with Kled ult, but it seems like they're just baiting out enemy team by wasting Kled ult, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I have no clue. I mean, maybe there's some big brain strategies that are going around in a name pending's head, but I think Vice's brain is kind of pending right now. It just doesn't really exist.
I mean, the fact that they're keeping up with this comp is pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive. Slibrad, I mean, misses the Ornn Horn, but Vice takes it over Takes a turret over. Might give his life for it. Yeah, he is dead. Slybread picks up the kill credit on that one as Terrain goes in for some damage onto Red Lightning and immediately runs out. The Hecarim ulti is available. Let's see if he ends up going aggressive for an engage. It's 15 minutes into the game, but everyone is so low level. I don't understand.
Everyone's just moving around the map.
Yeah, dude, they decide minions aren't important. I think that's what it is. And looking to get the second drag. Rift Herald is still really lonely. Poor Shelly just wants to just wants to kill some towers, man. Terrain going in for an excellent onslaught of the shadows. Very well placed Senna ult to get everyone in the team fight. Wombo combo, double kill coming in for Big Ichi as he almost stuns up Red Lightning. Might kill him off anyways. Triple kill coming in for Big Ichi as a 4-for-0 comes in for Name Pending. Excellent fight in the choke point. Vinny, could you walk us through that?
I did not expect them to take that fight, but they played that fight out really well. They layered Hecarim ult into Senna W into Senna ult pretty damn well, like perfect timing. And yeah, they just had no chance after 3 people got hit by the Hecarim ult. I'm hoping they made that play knowing that the enemy team didn't have flashes, but if they just did it on a whim, I guess it worked out.
I guess it did work out, and critically the Hecarim ult landed onto the backline of the Crusaders, so, you know, it's a free Rift Herald going over, although plates have gone. Just might look to break open a tier 2 tower, maybe. That's my guess. Yeah, we won't see another Rift Herald for the remainder of the game. Looks like...
I think both teams scale evenly well, too, so more and more of these fights will be determined based on who's playing the fights better rather than which team is stronger, even though Red Team has a favored team comp.
Yeah, for sure, and I think this is super exciting, regardless of regardless of the people that predicted the first Crusaders. They must be sweating buckets right now, but this makes VCU LCS exciting because now every team is a question mark in terms of strength, based off of scrim results and based off of game results.
I lost 28k channel points in the first 2 days.
Well, you know, that's why you gotta be me and run the VCU esports channel so you don't lose channel points, because you never bet your channel points. You're the ones starting off the bets.
Senna's a little bit too far behind right now, actually. I just noticed. She only has an item, a part of the Ginsu's build, and finished Kraken.
Well, you know, Rage Knife is coming in, so I guess...
Once she gets that 3rd item, though, I think she'll be unstoppable in team fights.
She most likely will be. I mean, attack speed Senna is one of the most cancerous things to play against in this game. Because she attacks you from, like...
from a mile away.
Yeah, dude. 3 screens away, and she's just, like, autoing you to death, man. Like, what? Like, please, man. It's just too much to deal with. She has faster attack speed than, like, Kaisa, Vayne, all these other champions that build attack speed, and you're just sitting there like, alright, there's no counterplay. We'll see how Bode Kinkajo is able to position himself. I mean, he's kind of been in melee range for the most part, but hopefully that changes towards the game going to later and later stages.
Another wasted ult by Vice. Like, I get that your ult, like, I get that he needed to ult there to get out, but why are you in that position where you have to waste ult for no reason? It's just, you're wasting timers on stuff that you could keep snowballing on. It just seems not particularly ideal.
I think it's best if we just gloss over it because it is VCU LCS and everyone hears a little bit of a boosted ape at the end of the day. So, I
guess. Very good point.
I mean, I am harping on Vice. No hate to Vice. I love the guy, but come on, man. You gotta. At some point, maybe you should decide to unbind your R key so you stop using it.
On the bright side for the red team, the Victor is pretty strong, and he's probably, he's probably one of the only champions on. He is the only champion on the red team that can pretty much kill anyone he wants on the other team.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Once he gets his Glitch Bane, he should be a pretty scary champion.
Yeah, I mean, he is running in on the 2-item spike, but Big Ichi, 700 gold shutdown and max stacks on the Dark Seal. He is extremely strong on the Syndra. As the Victor ult does come through, Chaos Storm doing a bit of damage. Roland Shane gets caught by a freak bind from Al Battalia's terrain, is getting run down, forced to use the Onslaught of Shadows to run away. Bode Kinkajo taking a lot of damage, is forced to flash, lands the bind onto Shane. Vice coming in from the back, gets unmounted immediately as Daniel picks up the kill credit onto that one. And a poor tower siege turned into an excellent engage and chase. As well, they're actually continuing. Okay.
They're going for more.
Ornhorn misses, so nothing else will be gained off of that. Will Albatalia look for a bind? Lands onto Bode Kinkajo. Big Ichi pushes her away. Knockup comes in from Sly Brad. He is trying to pick up another kill. They're continuing to chase down on the last two members of forced to flash away. The Syndra shutdown goes over to Albatalia as Bode Kinkajo picks up the kill onto the Morgana. That was super messy. But you know,
that was super messy.
That little scuffle bot lane does put them at soul points, so
yeah,
a little bit of a silver lining.
I'm really shocked how a team with such good disengage got engaged on that easily. But I guess it was a really good choice from. That's probably their best opportunity to engage. The red team did a pretty good angle on them as well. I thought the Caitlyn played pretty well with the traps. They just played overall pretty well together.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Caitlyn and the Morgana were pretty critical in that fight to actually winning. Multiple binds landing, multiple traps being set up in some really good places. Like the placement from Daniel on his traps was excellent. That fight really brought it back.
Back in the game right now.
Yeah, they're only down to 1,000 gold on Soul Point. I think it'll even out once they're able to knock down these last two outer turrets. But Ocean Soul will be huge for Ornn and Nunu. I'd like to see. They're gonna force a fight at the next dragon for sure. And I think whoever wins the next dragon fight is in a really good spot to actually win the game.
Yeah, both of these comps are very dependent. Like they don't really have a split push angle anywhere. So having especially Ocean Drake Soul, meaning you can get away with making mistakes in fights, is gonna be huge.
Yeah, for sure. Redlight putting down a decent chunk of damage onto Vice as a second tier tower. And the bot lane falls. Big Ichi is in the bot lane, and so is Terrain. Is this a free Baron for the side of the Crusaders? Wait.
From the blue team here. They're not even challenging it.
Vice 1v5 to stop it. I think they're going to trade the inhibitor tower for the Baron, but the recalls are coming through. They're not going to get an inhib off of this. Yeah, they do take the inhib tower down, but the Baron picked up. Let's see what happens here. They're running down Big Ichi, actually. Shane, immediate binding. So that's a dead Syndra. An Onslaught of Shadows, unable to escape the Morgana binding. Terrain is definitely going to fall here. Sentinel comes through to get a bit of shield, but you're just delaying the inevitable. The kill goes over to Red Lightning as he falls. Vice, ults in place once again, but it doesn't matter. Sly Brad dies to the Kled.
Honestly, really confused on why they gave away Baron for free. It doesn't really end the game for them, but it puts Red Team in a good position to get Infernal Soul with the tempo they get from Baron.
Yeah, for sure. With the Ocean Drag spawning in the next 2 minutes, Baron on them for 3 minutes. They have time, and they're looking to start sieging with the Baron minions. That was a really close bind to hitting Roland Shang. Holy moly. Would have been a dead. Nami would have become sushi.
FF right there.
Nami would have become sushi if that landed. Like, no other word for it.
Oh, awfully daring of the Kled. Oh, Nami died.
Oh no, Roland Shang face checks. Pooh picks up the kill on that one. Red Lightning looking to take down this bot lane tier 1 tower. Another bush play is being made. Bode Kinkajo, do not face check that. Oh, okay, I think the Senna's dead. Oh, the binding almost lands. Vice going aggressive onto Shane here. Nunu's not that tanky, actually.
Yeah. Nunu, or like the newer Nunu, I guess, is pretty squishy compared to most champions, but how strong he is early usually makes up for it.
For sure, for sure. Cannon's just going bonk bonk on the inner tower. So looking to set up a decent vision line. Well, they should set up a decent vision line for Dragon. I guess they're just opting to back right now to pick up some items. The BF Sword landed in for Daniel as the Lichbane is completed on the Victor. Thornmail coming in for Nunu. A lot of great item spikes The Oblivion Orb is picked up for the Morgana. So they're
Yeah,
they're in a good spot to actually start winning this game.
yeah, red team has hit their both their strongest champion spikes, Caitlyn and Caitlyn still has a third item spike, but with Stormrazor she's pretty strong as well. And Victor has the Lich Bane now. So this fight's looking very doomed for the blue side. I do not know how they're gonna win this one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if Daniel is just able to position well, then regardless of if like Shane ends up dying first, then if the carry's positioned well, I don't see blue side winning. Uh, hopefully Vice uses his ult properly, and that might bring them back into the game. However, the Ornhorn is coming in into a choke point. Bode King Joe's dropped extremely low terrain, drives himself into the back line towards his death as Slybrad is zoning 3 members. Vice is in the back, but he gets just blown up immediately. There's no surviving for the Kled. Victor Gravity Field will zone the back line of Name Pending away from the Dragon. This should be a really free Ocean Soul.
Yeah, I think that's just Soul. I don't think they should be.
Oh my,
Whoa.
that's a lot of damage onto Big Ichi. He's forced his Zonia's flashes as well away from the Gravity Field. I don't think he
Yeah,
needed to do that.
I think at this point you just give it up. No need to force whatever this engages here.
Yeah, for sure. Binding lands onto Big Ichi. He gets dropped immediately.
Yeah.
The chase continues onto the bottom lane. Red Lightning will fall to Bode King Show. Maybe bit off a bit more than he could chew. But they take that. Ocean 2 for 2 and Ocean Soul's worth. 3 for 2 and Ocean Soul's worth, actually. So, close game.
Yeah. Very. This is a really shitty situation for the blue team, honestly. And I'm also kind of questioning why Senna just bought 2 longswords and 7 executioners into an Ocean Soul team, but we'll move past that. But I don't really see how blue team comes back into this. I thought they had a very good chance to win after their honestly really good early game, but a few bad plays, team fights around Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, I gave a bit of shit for his shit to Mary for missing key bindings in the early game, but she's been pretty on point once the mid game hit, and one of the focal points in the comeback actually. And of course, Shane just being a BC, just Shane and Slybrad actually doing a pretty good job as a front line. For sure, I think Slybrad has been doing a lot more than Vice has this game.
Yeah. I think a problem is also it seems like blue team does not know what a flank means.
They don't. They're trying to go like just head first, front to back with Hecarim and Kled, and it's just not working out for them.
What's the next spear up? 40 seconds. I'm guessing about 2.5 minutes from now the game's over. Or at least I would hope for the game to be over if I'm looking for a clean game, but
It's VCU LCS, you know, you never know what happens. I mean,
could be a league baller Baron. You never know.
Could be a league baller Baron.
Wait, what? Syndra just finished the Lich Bane? Or was that an item? She just has one of every item in her.
Dude, she's building. She has the components for Exodia. Still hasn't completed her 3rd item yet, but you know it's alright. Roland Chang might be caught out here. That is a dead Nami. Once again, turned to Sushi. Roland Chang not having a good game. So it might be a free Baron for side of the Crusaders.
I hate the Zanya so much on the Syndra, but
I don't like it. I don't like it either. I mean, building
Zanya.
Zonias into Caitlyn is just kind of a death trap as an immobile champion.
yeah, and you're not even against an 80.
Oh, an excellent 3-man
Oh,
knock-up lands
nice.
for lands for, but
Oh.
what? Man, I just complimented, dude. I just complimented your Ornal, and then you literally slam your head into a wall. Okay, but it's fine because Vice is inting. Okay, Red Lightning kills off terrain. Vice decides not to int and kills off Slybrad instead. Starts diving the backline, but ends up inting anyways. Daniel picking up the kill on that one. A 4 for O comes in. Was a 5 for O in the extended fight, but will Roland Chang 1v4 the Baron Pit to save the game for Name Pending.
Now we're just hoping for too much.
Man, I feel like every time I compliment these players on a play that they make well, immediately they do something that makes me like just want to like gouge my eyes out. Like it's so
It's
bad.
like they're in the
Man.
Discord call where they're just waiting for you to say something good.
Yeah, they're waiting for me to say something good, and they're like, "Oh my god, Lokesh complimented me. Time to int." That aside, second Baron and Ocean Soul for the Crusaders, as Elder Dragon is on the table in a minute 30. If there is a way back into this game and a win condition for blue side, it is the Elder Dragon.
Yeah. At least a steal from Hecarim would be huge. At the least.
At the least, a steal would be huge, right?
Yeah. 5 would be great, but I don't think they win off of a fight. I don't think a fight does anything for them, actually.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
I think what they need to do is look to break open these inner towers on both the top and the bot lane. Look to set up pushing waves.
Actually, they have double TP. If they get a good wave in the ball lane and a good slow push in the ball lane, they could look for. I wouldn't say they can backdoor, but a good fight into ending the game is possible if they get a good wave down there.
Red Lightning Victor has purchased Eye of Luden. Dude, these item names are.
Show it in the. I don't like how the item shows with like an icon in the chat. It looks weird.
I mean,
I'm
I'm more disturbed by how all the items sound like anime names. Like,
Wisher did call Daniel the protagonist of VCU LCS. So
he's the protagonist and the elo terrorist of VCU LCS. I'm waiting for that Sivir game, man. I'm waiting. I'm literally waiting for that Sivir game. What is Kraken Slayer called when it's upgraded by Orm? Wormfall and Sacrifice. Oh yeah, that's.
Wait, Kraken can be upgraded by Orn?
Yeah, any
I
mythic, any
know that.
mythic.
Oh, TIL.
Wormfall and Sacrifice. Man, like, holy moly. Another mediocre ult from Vice. Decides to use it to run away rather than to flank. The Ornhorn is coming through right onto Bode King of Joe 50. The Senna's Cobb Roland Shane just dies immediately. Another excellent bind from Albitalia Terrain goes into the backline. This is not a VCU Hecarim. This is more like an ODU Hecarim I'm seeing here. Vice dies off immediately. Daniel is unstoppable as the Caitlyn ult from downtown does 1,000,000 damage to kill off Bode King of Joe 50. And they decide not to take the Elder Dragon. Maybe they're trying to end the game.
Why are they not ending through mid lane if they're trying to end? What is this?
VCU LCS is what it is.
I think they do have the timers to end through mid lane, but I wouldn't blame them for playing it safe.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Like, they're just going to get a couple more towers down. But they do get a free Elder Dragon. I guess they can start the siege once again and force a fight.
I guess. Honestly, this is really sketchy, but it's Elder Drake. It's very hard to lose with Elder Drake.
It really is very hard to lose with Elder Drake. I mean,
you gotta be talented to lose with Elder Drake, honestly.
Challenged. Challenged to lose with Elder Drake.
What is Senna building?
She is. Looks like she's gonna build a collector. This late into the game, man. Like.
This is a rapid fire angle if you've ever seen.
Hey, at least it ain't Black Cleaver University anymore. So.
On the bright side, yes.
On the bright side, no double Black Cleaver on Senna. Siege and end the game, guys.
Vote failed. Apparently, they tried to surrender.
Y'all, I'm trying to eat some dinner, please. Red Lightning gets stunned by Big Ichi, but you're not going to go in on that. Big Ichi started the game off really well, but Red Lightning just so much more effective, and the Elder Dragon pop comes through. Vice is diving the backline, but it doesn't matter. It's a last-ditch effort. But what are you going to do when Elder Dragon executes you in one hit? Daniel, flashing forward extremely aggressively. Roland Chang is going to die to this Caitlyn ulti. Yeah, there you go. If that's not game, then I don't know what is.
When the Nunu is zoning all 3 of your damage dealers, you could just go next fast.
Yeah, dude, you go next at that point. Daniel typing in all chat, sit, the Elo terrorist of VCU LCS. The protagonist has struck forth as the first Crusaders of VCU go 1-0 this week. Sly Brad diving the fountain as
Elo
Ornn
terrorist.
doesn't die. All right, let's put a poll out and see who y'all want for the interview.
In my opinion, it's a Shane angle. I think Daniel played fights out really well. Red Lightning did a really good job not dying, and Alvitalia and Sly Brad landed some really good CC. But I think the engages, how they were engaged on, was pretty much all up to Shane, and he did a really good job on that. That's what brought them back into the game. And I know that Shane generally is calling out for engages, so I assume it is his call that he's making these engages.
All right, well, we put the poll out. Let's keep track of the results, and we'll go from there and see who gets the interview. Advanced details, we can see here that Daniel and Red Lightning topping the damage charts, an absolutely unbelievable performance from both the carries. But I think the unsung hero of this game was actually Mary. Past laning phase, past laning phase, her binds were Smurf. They were really, really good, and she was critical in that comeback team fight in the bot lane tier 2 tower that Name Pending was trying to siege.
Yeah, I think even in laning phase she was doing really well. It's just that one awkward looking gank that like made her look like she didn't have fingers, but then she brought it back slowly into the game.
Looks like Daniel is currently leading the votes.
You're doing Shane dirty.
So we'll end the poll there, and we'll drag Daniel in. Shane will get his time another day.
They won't win another game, don't worry.
Daniel, my boy, how are you doing?
Hello, Mr. Lakewash.
Debut game in VCU LCS. We're super excited to have you. What are your thoughts on your team? Are you excited to be a part of the tournament? What happened to picking Sivir?
Oh god, I love my team. Even like third game into scrims, we're already like having fun playing. Just off meta stuff. Everyone's like in a good mood. This game we definitely like felt a bit like on the back because of like high expectations. Like everyone is expecting us to be first place, just raffle stomping everyone, and that was like a lot of early game was just like, hey, we're kind of behind. Let's not lose this. And then it took us a while, but then we realized like, hey, let's just slow it down. We outscale. We have like the perfect front to back team comp. This is what we drafted. Let's just play our comp. After that point, we just started. Well, we saw what happened. They just couldn't win a single fight without all 5 of us surviving.
What were the comps like later into the game? Like I know generally when people start losing, they start getting quieter and quieter. Was it the same for you guys or?
No, dude, we were louder and louder, especially at the like 15-minute mark. We were down like 4K gold at that point. We were just like trying to make plays somewhere anywhere. Later on, it was mostly me and me, Tristan, and then Sly Brad, who was also making really good calls on Ornos. I think he really like put some really good stuff out that I wouldn't have seen myself.
Agreed. He had some very good ults, some questionable follow-up after the ults, but the ults were pretty much all of them except for one looked really good. I think laning phase was generally questionable on your side, but you guys pulled it back really well.
We mentioned it. The whole point was that we weren't tracking the Hecarim well enough. We knew where he was, but we weren't respecting him enough.
Fair enough. I mean, it is VCU Hecarim. VCU Hecarim is bound to get at least like 3-4 kills in the early game, but the true, I guess, visage of a VCU Hecarim is its ability to carry the game, which Terrain failed to do. How did you tackle a fed Hecarim? And do you think he was beaten by Boris by building Divine Sunder when he was ahead?
Oh, we didn't care. We didn't care about the Hecarim.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, no. Our only focus was like, hey, look at the Syndra.
Syndra was absurdly strong, and I'm guessing the Senna wasn't really a problem, where she should normally be a problem, but she didn't look very threatening.
There was a point again, like 15 minutes when we were back. It was kind of like questionable. Like, hey, is the Senna just gonna destroy us? What's gonna happen? But after like that point, just said the Senna was a non-factor.
Gotcha.
Really, like our biggest like problem thing we had to like focus on was like deal with the Kled Hecarim duo diving all of us, and then after that, the team fight was just pretty much a done deal.
Gotcha. So next week you guys play against the boys, Elvin's team, who brought out an impressive comeback victory against the Rams of Vendetta. What are your thoughts going into your game next week?
We're gonna beat Elvin like I beat him in Smash a few weeks ago.
Ah, okay. Some strong words coming in from Daniel, the VCU LCS terrorist. Are you going to pick
The
Sever that game?
VCU League division is it's plagued with corruption. It shall be cleansed. It's the Crusade. That will be won.
Can we get security, please?
All right, I think on that note, we'll probably end the stream there. Thank you for your interview, Daniel, and congrats on your victory in your debut match in VCU LCS. Glad to have you, man.
Thank you.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for tuning into the stream. We'll be back as soon as whenever my team decides to play our game. So see y'all then.